Hey there, audio listener. This is Christ Media Politics. Go check out my clip that is up on the page, up on wherever you listen to podcast. It's a 26-second clip of my exploration of the New Age and the occult and different things like that. And we examine, with my co-host, we examine the warrior poet and his take on Star Wars. Go check that out, and spiritualism. So go check out that 26-second clip. If you like it, give it some love, interact with it, tell me you like it, tell me you liked that content, and I will release the full episode. I am currently working on it. It is a throwback to my time in college, and I recorded it when I was still at Southeastern University. So go check it out. Today's episode is about Kevin McCarthy. Now, I don't have much time. I only have 7 minutes. So we're going to have to blaze through this pretty fast. But I want to start off by saying that I was not expecting Kevin McCarthy to actually be ousted as Speaker. I did not expect Matt Gaetz to go through with that. I did not expect that to happen. When Matt Gaetz said, I'm going to, make a motion or a vote or whatever, I don't know the technical words, but when I do the thing that will get him removed or is going to start the process, I thought that he was joking. I thought that was kind of a bluff, and then he wouldn't go through with it. But he actually did. That is the craziest thing right now. And it's interesting because you will see spin on both sides. I don't think that Tim Pool spins a lot of his news. I don't think that's true. But it's interesting because he took this radical position. I think it's radical in the sense that he's being very provocative and accusatory. So he basically said that Kevin McCarthy is now a Democrat because he is siding with the Democrats or whatever, or okay. So we want to get into that, and we want to talk about that. He was ousted. I believe there was a vote, and it's interesting because Kevin McCarthy went through a historic confirmation, I don't know if it's called confirmation, but in order to become Speaker of the House, he had to go through a process, and it took way more like sessions or like cycles. They had to vote again and again and again until he finally got enough of his party to vote for him. So I want to read to you this news article. We're going to start with an NBCnews.com article. Kevin McCarthy removed as House Speaker in historic vote. These are the highlights. A handful of conservatives and all present House Democrats voted on a motion to vacate to remove McCarthy from the top post. The latest on efforts to remove McCarthy as Speaker. The House of Representatives voted this afternoon to remove Speaker Kevin McCarthy and from his position. The House voted 216 to 210 to oust McCarthy, with a handful of conservatives joining Democrats to remove him. 7 members were absent. It is the first time in U.S. history that a Speaker of the House has been voted out of office. Here's what happens now. McCarthy told House Republicans he will not run for Speaker again, clearing the way for a new leader. Earlier this afternoon, McCarthy's allies forced a vote to try to kill Rep. Matt Gaetz' effort, but failed, with nearly a dozen Republicans joining all House Democrats to keep the issue alive. The House plans to leave for a week and will hold a speaker election next Wednesday. This is crazy because this is historic. We know that the process of getting McCarthy into the speakership was historic in the sense that it took it took way more than a dozen votes, or it took more than the normal amount of votes. Like usually you vote basically once and you get the House and then he's confirmed to that position. In this case, when he in the most recent midterm, at the conclusion of the most recent midterm, he was not voted for the speaker. And so they had to go through that process again and again and again until he could get enough people to join him. Basically, there was the Freedom Caucus and a couple other Republicans that wanted certain guarantees about what he would do as Speaker, and then they would vote for him. So once those deals were made, then McCarthy would get, I believe, confirmed as Speaker of the House. Now, this is a very divisive issue for a lot of Republicans because you have the mainstream Republicans like conservatives like Ben Shapiro saying McCarthy is a strategist who is saying, let's get what we can. We're in the minority. We're not in the majority. We don't have full control of the House. We're fighting a Democrat, House. We're fighting a Democrat president. So we don't have as much power. Let's do what we can, and let's not be responsible for the government shutdown, and let's wrong foot the Democrats so that we can get reelected and oust them and take over both chambers of Congress. But Matt Gaetz is this wild card rogue who is saying no. There needs to be accountability with the spending. There needs to be these spending packages that are one package spending packages where basically we decide what we're going to spend, but we're going to spend it in, we're just going to spend on one issue, and that's going to be the package. So if it's, let's say we need to fund the military. Okay, we're going to make a funding for the military, and that's it. We're not going to throw a bunch of stuff inside of it and then call it a military spending bill, and then get upset at anyone who doesn't want to, and then just say, oh, well, they don't support our troops. They're the enemy. This is why they're bad. And then, eventually that pressure changes their position. This is very clear internal strife within the party. I think it's a good thing short term, because actually I think it's a good thing long term, because it does disrupt the whole system and it keeps people accountable, and it shows that anyone can do this stuff and they can get like Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz can do certain things, and he can get certain things accomplished. And so certain things that are now taboo, it's like, go with the flow, do things the way it's always been done. We're strategic, long gamers, blah, blah, blah. But Matt Gaetz is like, no, I'm here now. I have a mandate from my constituents now. I'm going to do what the people want now. And you should go and watch Tim Pool's breakdown, and you should also go watch Ben Shapiro's breakdown, because I think those two voices show basically the two sides. Now, there's probably a scale, and there's an in-between between, people that are on Tim Pool's side or people that are on the Republican side, the traditional Ben Shapiro type. So go check that out. That is pretty much the summary of the situation with McCarthy. He is out, or he has been voted. This vote carried. He's being kicked out of the speakership position, and that vote is going to take place next week on Wednesday. Thank you for listening to Christ Media Politics.